What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode, another edition of the PHDJ podcast. I am one of your hosts, Joe Bunn, and there on the camera, if you're watching live, is the other host, Mr. Mike Walsh.
What's going on, Joe? How are you?
I'm good, brother.
You know why I'm wearing red today?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the red alert? Have you seen the...
You didn't see what we did last night?
No. What did you do? You light it up? Tell me.
Dude, we went down the street to one of our favorite wedding venues, and we lit that bitch up.
Awesome. I don't know why I only just saw this last night for the first time. I guess I just missed it.
It was... Dude, it was killer. Like, we went all in, and like Linus is actually here now editing the video, and
That's
I got
cool.
some really good photos. But I posted some quick pictures late last night. That's probably why you haven't seen them. And I did the best I could with an iPhone at night. But and then people in the comments underneath mine on Facebook started throwing in some different stuff. Their situations, like people's houses, they lit up their houses, people did wedding venues.
So for those of you who don't know, look up, what is it? Red Alert Restart.
Yeah.
We make events, those two hashtags. But I also, I tip my cap to you, Joe. This kind of goes back to your original Save the Show memes and concepts. And, one of the biggest, Matt Radicelli posted about it. And the very first bullet point was postpone, don't cancel your events. And that's a message I think we've all been saying, but to your credit, whoa, did we just zoom in a little bit?
Sorry.
That's a mess. It's way too early for a close-up show. I at least 2 p.m. before I'm good for a close-up. So I'm going to get further back from the camera. But I think that whole message.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know how you're doing, but we're trending at about 90% of our events are postponing rather than canceling. So I don't know whether these, memes and messages have helped influence that or whether it would have been that anyway. But that's, in my opinion, that's still 10% too many that are canceling. But it's at least we're not trending at 50-50.
Yeah, man. I was just looking over some of these stats that I'm going to kind of put in the post. But this whole thing, let's see, 77% of the people in our industry have lost 100% of their income. 96% of companies have cut their staff. 97% of 1099 event workers have lost their jobs.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's heartbreaking, man.
Yeah.
And like I was trying to explain on that, we went live after we got it all lit up and the sun went down. I was like, man, you think about it and you just pick. Mike, you and I go to a dozen or more concerts a year. Somebody said I'm really quiet. Here, I'll turn my mic up. Think about that for a second, Mike. Okay, well, we get that it's, the venue suffers because they don't have any concerts. What about the guy that sold, the popcorn there? What about the guy that scanned the tickets? What about the guy that cleaned the bathrooms? What about the guy that trucked all the gear in for... Michael Fronte. What about the session drummer that plays with his band?
Yep.
Dude,
the artists can probably afford to sit this year out, and especially if they've been successful. But you're right; it's all those ancillary people who are connected to tours and nightclubs and things like that. Those are the people that are hurt the most. Similar to our DJ company, it's it's not just the venues that are getting hurt. It's the DJs, it's the photographers, it's the limousine drivers. I think we talked about this on a podcast. I saw an article a couple weeks ago about how champagne sales are way down. Like,
oh my God.
Because think about it. When do people drink champagne?
When they celebrate.
Celebrations. And celebrations have been put on hold. So, all these ripple effects of things that are affected by it. We get our giveaways from Sherman Novelty. I would imagine that Sherman is probably hurting. So yeah, it's things that you don't even think of, and there's not a lot that the general public can do. But yeah, if the biggest message is postpone, don't cancel, I hope that message gets out there.
Well, everybody that participated last night, thank you so much.
That's great. I'll have to look up your videos. That's very cool.
It'll be done any minute, and I'll make sure to get the video up of our recap of last night. It should be just like a little 1 minute thing. But on to more positive things and more pop culture things, because Mike and I are so young and so freaking hip. We are recapping Sunday night's MTV VMA Awards.
Yep.
Or I guess that's actually, I just said awards twice. I just say VMAs instead of VMA Awards.
Right, because VMA stands for Video
The A
Music
is
Awards.
the
So
award,
if you say VMA Awards, it's Video Music Award.
Video Music Award Awards.
Right. So you watched it live? You watched it Sunday night?
Unfortunately, I had to watch it live because I got rid of my DVR a while back. So I still have MTV, but I just don't have a DVR. Did you watch it?
I watched it live. I watched it live, and then Kelly fell asleep Sunday, so she actually watched it Monday night. So I got to see about half of it twice.
Sure. Well, I'll say this, man, ironically, and this was, I don't know if it's just because we all love music. This was the first time I can remember in years that all four of us actually sat down at my house and watched the same thing.
That's cool.
So normally the kids are upstairs, they're YouTube, they don't really watch shows. And then me and Ainsley might watch a show, like something, whatever's on TV. And then I usually watch something on my own after everybody goes to bed. But this was the first time all four of us actually sat there and watched this, even with the commercials, which were plentiful.
Yes, they were plentiful. It's funny. I was actually reading a book during the commercials, and I'm like, I'm getting a lot of reading in tonight. I
think what we were like, Davis was doing like TikTok dances and stuff like in between. So I don't know. It's crazy, but yeah. Let's kind of recap. I wrote down on my phone, so that's why I'm looking over here.
Yeah, me too. I have my notes on my phone. Yeah, very good. You and I are 3 years doing this, dude. We've gotten kind of organized.
We got it. We got it dialed in. Well, I'll just talk about the opener. I mean, people that know, follow me and follow what I listen to. They
love
know
the Weeknd.
I love the freaking Weeknd. Yep. I love that song. I love the record. I've seen him live now twice. Once as an absolute nobody. In fact, he played for Timberlake on the 2020 Experience tour, and he was playing in the middle of the floor. I had floor seats, and he played on the middle of the floor on a stage probably about the size of a card table.
Wow.
With a backing track, no band, and he had that weird tree root, I called it a tree root haircut.
Right.
It was like one massive dreadlock, and with all the house lights on. That's how he opened. That's when you walked in to find your seat, the Weeknd was playing at this 2020. And then, here we go to Starboy. That record comes out and he just blows up stratosphere.
Joe, that's a similar story to, I don't think you were at the DJ Expo. I guess it's now, 9 or 10 years ago when Lady Gaga performed.
I was not.
But I mean, that's a similar story. She performed as part of the promo only showcase, which used to be their Tuesday night. I think it was Pioneer and Promo Only co-sponsored it. Lady Gaga was just one of many performers. Sure. And I remember she came out with this wacky outfit and everything else. And I was with my DJs and I said to one of my guys, I haven't heard of her. And one of my guys, I wish I could remember, said, she's going to be pretty big. And sure enough, I think it was 2 months later, Just Dance broke and she was everywhere. But I mean, think about a decade or even less ago, Lady Gaga was performing for 500 DJs in a room at an industry event. And,
a bunch of dudes standing there with their hands in their pockets.
Yeah. And now, I mean, one of the things I wrote down was it was Lady Gaga's night.
Dude, I mean, I was going to get to that. I mean, it was the Lady Gaga show, quite frankly. I mean,
and deservedly so. I mean, she's had an incredible short career, but I mean, she has had an incredible career. Oscar award winner now, and I mean, her music is great. It certainly helps all of us. She's produced some great dance tracks. I wish I was doing more gigs because I really like "Rain on Me" and I "Rain Over Me" or whatever her song.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge Lady Gaga fan, but that song is a great dance track.
It's a hot track.
It really is.
Yeah. So going back to the opener.
Yeah. So the Weeknd,
I just want to make one more point about that opener.
Okay.
Dude. I know you have shit on New York a couple times in our 3 years. You're not a big fan. But dude, I was so proud of my hometown. It looked so gorgeous.
It did.
And I mean, first of all, they got lucky. It was the perfect night. The whole weekend was nice here, but Sunday night was gorgeous. It was cooler on the cooler side for a summer night. So for these performers who were performing outdoors, they weren't in, overly humid conditions and everything.
Well, Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of what you think was happening was happening.
I agree, but some of them, certainly that Brooklyn stage, I think that Brooklyn stage was either live or it was like sort of in the moment. Yeah, I have that down. I don't know what we were watching most of the time. Were they pre-recorded videos? But certainly the weekend, that was a outdoor. Again, I don't know if it was live.
I don't know if it was that night or the night before. But
I think it was Sunday night. It was probably, yeah.
Okay.
That'd be my guess.
Okay, you might be right.
But anyway, going back to, you can shit on New York all you want. I'm super proud of my hometown. And there's no other city that would have looked as beautiful as that. It was badass with those outdoor shots. So
the weekend was on a rooftop, New York, with maybe that was the Hudson River in the background?
Yeah.
And there were basically ferries lined up. And when he hit the final, high note of blinding light, boom, they fired off fireworks off the decks of these ferries. And if you can't, go back and find the weekend's opening set on VMAs. He crushed it.
Well, and as Jeff Heidelberg commented in our podcast discussion group, he said, VMA production crew, hey, Weekend, how many moving heads do you want? And Weekend commented, yes. Because basically he had every moving head in the tri-state area was on that roof. And what an effect. So even before the fireworks, it was incredibly impressive.
It was so cool, man. Super, super cool. And so anyway, weekend, and then I think there was a quick break, or maybe it went to the host, who I thought was fine. I don't know Kiki.
Do you know
Palmer.
her? What's her name? Yeah, Kiki Palmer. I don't know her. I don't think I've ever seen her perform.
She's a singer. I mean, she's had a pop record here or there.
I mean, as an MC, I wasn't blown away. I mean, I've seen some. I think Alicia Keys is amazing at the Grammys. So I think the bar has been set pretty high. I thought she was okay. She said make some noise too much. So it's almost like she fell into that DJ trap. Make some noise. Everything was make some noise. But I thought she was comfortable and cool, and she did get
good energy.
She got political right away, which I know that's probably turned some people off. I don't necessarily mind it, probably because I agree with a lot of their politicals. But I mean, she and a number of the artists, the weekend, the 2 times he came out, was very somber, and had no problem, but I think MTV has always been that way. I don't think MTV has ever kind of shied away from, hey, this is how we feel. Right. Yeah. But that was my comment on her.
Then my man from Charlotte, North Carolina, the baby
killed it.
Dude, the baby killed it. The setup was awesome. It had a ton of green screen. He was in a cop car at one point. He kind of did a medley. He had the Jabberwockies out there. Like he kind of killed, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that was the first time I said to myself, I don't know what I'm watching here, because like you and I talked about last week, one of the things I hate about award shows is when they have to bleep the curses, and they basically but if you noticed, those curses were bleeped
like
right, exactly. So obviously it had been pre-recorded at some point, and somebody went back, and so I don't know when the baby did that performance. Weeks ago, a day before, an hour before.
I feel like I follow him on Instagram, Mike, and I remember that it was kind of like a fur Letterman's jacket that he had on. Remember, it was kind of yellow, and I feel like he posted a picture of him in that jacket about 3 or 4 days before the show, or something. So I feel like he had been in New York for a few days and recorded that. I don't remember exactly who was next, but I wrote down Miley Cyrus.
I have Lady Gaga accepting an award in her weird mask, which was the theme of the night.
Sure.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus, her new song. How badly does Miley Cyrus want to get naked?
On everything.
Every one of her outfits, she's just barely not naked, like every single one of them. It's amazing. Yeah. And you know what? I've always thought she sounded a little like Stevie Nicks, but she really, in that performance, had that Stevie Nicks kind of warble in her voice. But that was another one. I don't know what I was watching. I don't think it was live, but her lip syncing was horrible.
It was bad.
Yeah, which it says to me, I don't know, because that made me think, well, maybe this is live, or maybe this is close to live. Because if not, you think they would have matched up the video to the audio a little bit more.
Because actually, man, I mean, even though she does have an odd voice, she can sing.
Oh my God, Miley Cyrus is, yes, there's no question. I mean, she has an affect to her voice, which, like I said, I think it sounds like a Stevie Nicks, but she is a phenomenal singer. Yeah.
What else you got, Mike? What do you have next?
So there was I don't know how to pronounce it. So Maluma.
Yeah.
And they were the ones they were the first ones where they cut to this outdoor stage in Brooklyn.
It was basically like a drive-in theater.
Like a drive-in, which I thought was phenomenal.
It was cool.
I'm actually surprised they didn't use that stage more often. I think they only went to it 3 times, and I mean maybe logistically that was the best they could do.
Yeah.
So I thought that performance was cool. And then Gaga won for Rain on Me. That she won Song of the Year. Again, different mass. That was the mass with the horns.
The horns.
And then BTS, which I got to be honest, I know they're boy band, and I thought that song was pretty good, and I thought the performance was good, and their dancing was. I love the dancing with the white fixing your hair in unison. I don't know, man. I thought it was great. I'll say great. I thought it was great.
They Colin told me, my oldest son, he was like, these K-pop bands are trained for 4 to 6 years before they turn them loose.
Wow.
Everything from plastic, dancing, plastic surgery, how you're going to dress. I mean, if you notice when they interviewed them, there's only one guy that's really can speak English.
Yeah.
The other guys will give one scripted sentence. Thank you very much. I'm not going to try and do a Korean accent, and then there's one guy that speaks really good English, and he's kind of like the leader, if you will.
Right.
But man, that band, that group, for whatever age demographic, and I'm assuming mostly girls, is absolutely massive.
Well, listen, I don't think it's 6 years, but I mean, if you've ever read about Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, who was the producer?
Lou Pearlman. They ripped them off. That's what I was about to say.
Off.
I hope these kids in BTS have their eye on their money. That's all I can say. Because God knows.
Yeah,
those guys in NSYNC.
But I think that's common. If you're trying to put together a pop band like that, I think putting them into a regimen of dance lessons and fashion lessons, and I don't know about plastic surgery, especially at a young age, that seemed kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, getting these kids ready to hit the big time, I think is important. Yeah.
Agreed. What else did you have on there, Mike?
So I had Gaga came on. What's that?
And then when Gaga
after
came
that,
on?
they gave out another award, and then Gaga did her medley of songs. Again, phenomenal performance. I don't think it was live or even recorded all in a row, because at one point she changes an outfit so quickly. I don't think
on the floor
was possible. Right. She's laying on the floor, the camera goes up and then back down, and she's in a completely different outfit. So I think what we were watching were performances that were melded together.
Yeah.
Which again, I don't really have a problem with, especially in this format. I mean, we're in a different time. I don't think that'll take place next year when we're back to normal. But I think in this time, I thought they were creative. I thought they did a pretty good job at presenting it. I thought that whole medley, she did 911, she did Rain on Me with Ariana Grande, and then she started Stupid Love with a piano, which, what is that piano, a brain? I couldn't really figure out.
Oh, that's what we were calling it, a Briano, a brain piano.
Oh, okay, yeah, and then went into a dance version of it. I mean, I thought it was great, and then
Go ahead.
Doja Cat came out.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, is she hot? I had no idea. I guess I just haven't seen photos of her or...
She's always looks different in every video. Like, she always has a kind of a different look. So I really don't know what she truly looks like. But again, Colin was like, man, she almost got canceled this year. Like, this whole cancel culture, that she was caught up in some racist comments or something, but somehow her fans rallied and saved her from getting canceled.
I put 3 stars next to her performance. So in my opinion, that was the bet, but I'm sure that's completely just because I had fallen in love by I'm sure
TV at that point.
Yeah, she could have been like not even singing, and I would have been like, she's great. She's amazing. Yeah. And then, again, I don't know how to pronounce it. Cinco.
I think it's CNCO, but Cinco.
A Latin boy band. I didn't love that, and I wrote they won the award for crotch grabbing. And then they ended the show with Black Eyed Peas, I Got a Feeling.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I almost felt like, okay, that's cliche. Like every how many DJs do that?
It was guilty. Not all of them, but I've played it multiple times. Yeah, I mean, at least they played a couple of their newer songs. I mean, and confirmed that Fergie is definitely no longer in their band.
No, they didn't even. Yeah. She's completely gone. Yeah. So, did you have a favorite performance?
Oh, the weekend, man.
You just loved
I
it.
could have turned it off after that. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, that once those fireworks went off, and listen, man, was it? I think he deserves. I mean, he won the biggest award, right? Was either
she
video
won
of the
for
year,
video of the year.
that's right.
No, she won for song of the year. Yeah, yes, he won for video of the year. Yeah.
one of the biggest
He
awards.
won R&B and video. And again, both times he came out very somber.
Yep.
You have to tell me, is he beat up or is that just makeup? That matches the video, right?
It's for the theme of the video was that.
Yeah.
It was kind of that the Goodfellas movie. Remember with Scorsese?
Sure.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes along with that theme, and he's just kind of carrying it through the whole record. I wouldn't even be surprised if when he does finally tour that. Anyway,
and he comes out like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Red.
So that was. And did you have a least favorite?
I really didn't, man. I mean, I guess it would have been that CNCO. Man.
Yeah, that was mine.
Mean,
Although I also Black Eyed Peas at the end. I actually wrote "They Seem Bored." I think that they have played I've Got a Feeling so much that they like I watched that performance and I'm like I think I get more excited as a DJ playing that song than they got performing it, and I'm like, oh, it was really, to me it was kind of a lame way to end what I thought was otherwise a good show.
Yeah.
And speaking of good show, dude, 2 hours and 15 minutes. I don't know why all award shows. I mean, me, I'm a
3-4 hours,
man. There are times where I'm sitting here drinking a cup of coffee towards the end of the Oscars because I want to stay awake. It was crisp movie, even though there were a ton of commercials. I'll tell you what, if you didn't watch it live and you still have a DVR, unlike Joe, and you fast forward, you could probably watch that show in an hour and a half.
Oh no, shorter.
Yeah,
shorter.
Even shorter.
Yeah, 60 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Especially if you saw some artists that you're just like, man.
Well, sure. If you want to start fast forwarding through artists, then definitely. But I'm saying, like, if you take I'm sure it was 45 minutes worth of commercials in 2 hours and 15.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what, Mike? I just kind of thought about something. They definitely, I guess maybe they never did. I was going to say they just totally skipped over country, but maybe I'm thinking more about like the Grammys and the AMAs. And
I don't think MTV really, I think the VMAs focus strictly on pop,
dance, hip hop.
Dance, hip hop, yeah.
Oh, Megan Thee Stallion won the hip hop award. That kind of disappointed me. You remember that?
I do, yeah.
That's not the winner of that. But anyway,
okay. I couldn't believe because the box. I mean, Roddy Ricch was number one for like half of the year.
Oh,
how did that song not? Yeah, you're right. I remember thinking I didn't write it down, but I was like, "What? That's weird."
Yeah.
So I thought it was a cool idea to zoom in the fans. Somebody on our Facebook group wrote he's not a fan. This is Jeff Heidelberg again. Not a fan of the host and the CGI crowd. Oh, okay. So he's saying CGI crowd. Listen, I get it though. They're trying to add a visual to it, but I liked the idea when they had those office buildings and the windows, and I'm assuming again they were live or sort of live. They were
kind of like they're doing the NBA games where you can.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. And again, we're in a very unprecedented time where you have these shows that are so used to having a theater full of people that create the excitement. So how do you create that excitement? And I give these shows credit for at least attempting something.
It's have you bought a virtual concert yet, Mike? Have you paid for a virtual concert?
Yes. Well, I don't know if you'd call it concert, but Kelly and I have watched a few things here where we paid and we got to stream it, and yes. Yeah.
It's odd, right? I mean it's odd.
I think though the two things we've done, it was sort of they were kind of folk chill, like if I bought, like, it's funny, I was watching Lady Gaga, but also Pitbull recently, and I said I bet he's a fun live show. You saw Pitbull, right?
No, at that Vegas show, no, he had that Vegas run. I didn't see it. I saw.
That would probably be a weird show to stream live because. You want to get up and dance and have a good time, but you're sitting in your living room. Yeah. So,
both of mine I saw were chill, like singer-songwriter guys.
Right. Yeah. The one, Kelly and I were sitting out back. We had lit a fire in the fire pit, and we were having some bourbon, and we just had the show on, and it was sort of cool.
Yeah. It ain't like being there, man. God, I miss it so much.
No, I know. We'll get back there, but yeah, it is. It's cool. It's not. It's weird. I had a lot of register to vote messages. I had a question about were these performances or videos, but Yeah. I wasn't reading comments. Did we get any questions? Or
No real questions.
Nate said he can't wait to see us
Yeah, let's plug
live
that.
stream tonight. So you want to plug? So we're gonna drop the show a day early, assuming
Yeah, we're gonna try that.
Because I have no faith that this is actually recorded. But assuming you did make a recording of this, we'll get this out on Wednesday afternoon.
Yep.
In order to promote tonight, because Joe has finally, and it tells me that he must have scraped the bottom of the barrel and have had every other DJ in the country.
I've asked him
perform.
like 3
I
times.
finally have been asked. And listen, I'm nervous as shit, dude. I didn't sleep at all last night. This is a career highlight for me. I will be doing a set this evening for the DJ's Vault.
Woo! Yes. So
do you have to be a member to see this?
No. We'll be on Twitch. So twitch.tv / the DJ's Vault. Twitch.tv / the DJ's Vault. And we'll be going live. Mike's on at 8 Eastern, and I'll be on right after him. So we'll each play an hour and just a little Wednesday night entertainment. And
you know what? I've decided to do a theme.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. Well, based on our conversation today, VMAs, I decided to do, my theme is MTV music. So even though I'm not spinning videos, songs that you would associate with what I call the kind of that grand MTV era, which really lasted about a dozen years, from the early 80s to the mid 90s.
Yep.
You know, MTV, they were kingmakers. They, you know, if you got a song on MTV,
or
didn't matter if you had any talent. We're looking at you, Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You never even had to have a second song. You know they could help you break one song. And so I figured I'd stick with that theme. So I'm gonna have an hour of music tonight from that 80s 90s era of what I consider just MTV's, you know.
Would you consider them to be like one-hit wonder kind of things?
No, not necessarily. Okay. I mean, you know, I'll probably play Billie Jean, because to me, Billie Jean, you know, I want to play songs. I'll
never forget that video.
Even though I'm not showing the video, if you are old enough to remember MTV, you could close your eyes and see it. Like I just said, Dexy's Midnight Runners. If I play "Come On Eileen," if you're old enough, you can picture the video of that song.
Absolutely.
So that's the theme that I'm kind of going for tonight.
I love it, dude. I don't know what I'm going to play. I need to prep something, but I know me and Mike are going to have a good time tonight. So again, that's 8 Eastern until 10 Eastern tonight. Cool. And I
want to finish with a shout out. Do you know that Richie Stedman? Have you followed him?
I have. I've been talking to him.
He was COVID positive. I don't know if he still is. He seems to be on the mend. He and his wife seem to be, I don't want to say fully recovered, but certainly on the you know, they've had their worst days. But Richie, we've joked about it before that Richie is really our co-producer, because for a while, you know, Joe and I usually rotate with topics, and I come up with one, and then every other week Richie comes up with one for Joe. So Richie has done a lot to help our podcast, and he is currently struggling and battling, and like I said, winning the battle currently. But I want to send our collective hearts out to Richie and his wife and his family.
For sure. And my shout out today, a little more on the positive note, Randy Bennett's birthday today. So y'all know Randy.
The man behind the man.
Randy Bennett, September 2nd. So let's
happy birthday, Randy.
Not announce his age, but anyway, shout out Randy Bennett. And anyway, that's it for today, man. Good episode, Mike. I hope it record. Fingers crossed. If anybody knows StreamYard, let me know, and you can tell me if it did. But thank you, guys. We're going to do this live every week, and then, of course, the podcast this week will be out a day early. So usually drops on Thursday morning. Mike,
have a great day, everybody, and tune in tonight. Can't wait.
Yes. See y'all.
Ciao.
Later.